Hi, this is Betsy Brandner-Smith from Police One. I'm here with Shelly Clingerman. She's the producer of an outstanding documentary called Terror in American Schools, Are Your Kids Safe? Shelly, thanks so much for being with us. We have so much to talk about, and one of the things that we talk about on Police One and also in the Caliber Press Street Survival Seminar is, what about cops' kids? You know, what are we telling our own kids? What are we teaching them? We train for active shooters in the schools. We train for school violence. But we're not really doing a good job of training our kids. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that the police kind of go home at the end of the day and lock those feelings and their experiences of the day up. And in reality, they're parents and you have kids at school as well. So you're the first line of information for your kids. Share it with them. You can't act on something you don't know.
Now, shooters and terrorism in our schools, obviously a topic you're near and dear part, and I've got to tell people that you're also part of a law enforcement family. But you discovered that parents were, either not informed at all or misinformed about the potential dangers of terror in our schools here in the United States.
Yeah, I think what I realized is that someone was making the decision for me to not share this information. I happened to be at the right place at the right time, and I got the unedited version. That was something that put me into motion. So you can't argue data, and you can't act on something you don't know. We have to be honest and open with what a situation is, what the threats are, and know that there is something you can do, but you have to know about it.
I think a lot of police officers will say, you know what, I don't want to frighten my kids, or maybe my spouse or partner doesn't want me to talk to the kids about these things. But you advocate having not only parents be informed, but kids, correct?
I do, and I agree with John Geidick, who is an expert in this field. He said parents are more concerned with kids being a little afraid than a lot dead. And you can't argue that. I'm okay with having them know that there's threats out there and know what to do, as opposed to finding themselves in a situation and mommy didn't tell me what to do.
So at what age should we, cops, start talking to our kids about the potential for something terrible happening in school?
I think, just as a parent, I think, we teach kids fire drills, we teach them stranger danger. I think probably middle school would be a good time you can start introducing it. It's not uncommon to see these shooters getting into schools in the middle schools. They're old enough to comprehend the threat, and they're old enough to react and to carry out the drills that you tell them they need to do. So I would say middle school is a good time to start.
And when we're talking about shootings in the schools, we're not only talking about adults who potentially would come in, whether it's someone who just wants to shoot up a school, or it's a workplace violence situation or a domestic violence situation come to school. You're also talking about fellow students, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And that's something that again, it can be very difficult for us to talk to our kids about. How can your documentary help us with that?
The documentary was designed to give people the fact. It introduces the whole threat, the issues with it, the challenges that we face, but it also gives them 10 things right off the bat you can do immediately after watching it. So it's an empowering. It says, okay, it is frightening, but I can do something to prevent it. And there's no better scenario than preventing it from happening so that we're not dealing with it after it does.
Well, and we talk in the Street Survival Seminar about bringing your family into our world. And I think as police officers and police parents, I think we have an obligation to inform our kids and get them prepared, because there's going to be other kids who are completely unprepared. And if our kids can take that leadership role, we could save lives.
They could be the leaders. They could be the leaders that get kids out of a situation that no one else told them what to do.
That's exactly it, and that where better for that to come from than from a police parent and from an informed citizen like yourself, who has taken the initiative to learn as a parent,
right.
And then you didn't just stop at your own household. You're taking this, you're taking your show on the road, so to speak. And we're really excited about that, and we appreciate you doing this, for kids in America and for law enforcement as well.
Thank you. Happy to do it.
Thanks.